You're listening to Parasearch Radio. News, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or their affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Haunted Histories with your host Penny G. Morgan, right here on Parasearch UK Radio.
Well, hello my little lovelies, how are we all? I hope we're all keeping well and fighting the good fight to get through this month of July. Those of you with kids who are about to break up from school, I feel your pain. I am already worrying about how I'm going to keep going for the next 6 weeks without either A, drinking far too much, B, leaving the kids on the steps of an orphanage, or C, just taking my passport and running away. But I'm sure we'll get through it. I'm sure they'll get through it. And don't forget, we'll have loads of good shows for you on Parasearch Radio to keep you amused, if that's what's going to happen to you. But, well, tonight's show is one I'm very excited about because I actually started chatting to this lady on Facebook because I wanted to do the show on this place, Grendon Hall, that we're going to be talking about. And it's probably fair to say, and she's muted at the moment, so she can't actually say anything, but it's probably fair to say we hit it off almost straight away. And since meeting, it got even worse. And then we find out our birthdays are almost on the same day. And there's a host of things we have in common which are quite spooky. It's the one, the only Wonder Woman that she is, Sam Bennets.
Hello.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. It's true to say we did hit it off, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It's like we must have crossed paths at some time before, or maybe in a previous...
I think so. It was weird how instant I think it was as well, making each other laugh and all that kind of thing.
It's just natural, wasn't it?
It was, and the things we have in common, like I think our birthdays one day apart.
Something
one day?
I don't know. I'm 28. What are you?
26. They're 2 days apart.
2 days, yeah.
2 days apart.
Yeah,
it's all a bit. And other things that we've just been chatting about. Actually, we found out we've got in common as well, which is all a bit unusual. But one of the things I don't have in common with you is I'm not an incredibly talented psychic medium.
No, but you're a very talented historian.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we've all got a talent, I suppose, haven't we? And it's all about using that. But your psychic medium work, I'll give you an easy question to start off with.
I'm losing you. Sorry, I'm losing you already.
You're losing me already. Oh, this blasted signal. I'm very sorry. If anyone can't hear me, it's Skype is playing up tonight. It keeps clicking in and out. But yes, my question, Sam, can you hear me now? It was going to be, how did you get into the psychic medium stuff?
Well, I've always been communicating with spirits since I was one. They were the stories that my mum and my nan said. By the time I became 13, I was always different to everyone else. Mm-hmm. And then my nan started buying me all things like witches. So I was given like the ghost books and the tarot cards and the rune stones and the crystals. And it went from there. And at the age of 13, I started reading to people's family members and everything that I've been seeing, and all these spirits I've been seeing over all the years, were coming in to work with me and showing me the way, and it just went from there, really.
Okay. Well, we've got two of your group. They're actually, I think they're Paranormal Charity Warriors as well, but Paranormal Sisters. We've got Ness in the house and Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
Yes. Caroline's just said she's got no sound, but I don't know if that's because she's pressed the right button. Because she said I have, and I don't know if that's to sharing out the show for us or actually pressing the play button. But then again, she won't be able to hear me saying this if she's got no sound. So you started the whole sort of mediumistic stuff from quite an early age. Did it not scare you at all?
Yeah.
It did.
Sorry?
Scare you? Did it scare you?
Did it scare you? God, for many, I don't know if the word was scare. I think it was more of wonder why I'm seeing all of this, why am I acting differently. I don't think I was ever scared. No, it was just I knew no different.
Yeah.
You know, from the age of 1, 2, I was asked my mum to make dinners for my imaginary friend, but obviously to me they weren't imaginary. And if my mum didn't make them a dinner, then I wouldn't eat my food. So my mum, she was a single parent, but she wasted a lot of money making dinners. So I think it was more of a wonder, why am I seeing them and hearing them and other people aren't?
Yeah. So what let me think how to word this. What would have been one of the most amazing things that happened to you?
At a young age. I remember sitting. My nan's house was quite scary, and I was sitting. We used to all fight for the armchair that looked out into the hallway. And don't ask me why, because I don't like hallways. I hate looking out on hallways. It's like people don't like looking out of windows. Mine's hallways. And all the cousins, all the brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, all fought for this chair. And one particular night I was staying at my nan's, and obviously I had a fight with my nan to get the chair, so she ended up on the sofa. And we'd been playing cards all night, and then I looked and I was like, who are those? And she was like, what are you on about? I said, there's 3 people walking down to the kitchen. She went, describe them. So I described these 2 men and then this woman. She went, well, that's your granddad, Stevie. That's your uncle. I can't remember what his name was, because obviously it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And, the lady, she went, don't ask me who that is, but she always pops in. But they was all walking past into the kitchen. But it was as if they'd never left her. And obviously my granddad died when I was 1, so I never knew my granddad. So, yeah, that was probably one of the most memorable times.
Yeah. So we started off at when did you start actually getting involved in more the paranormal investigation side?
I started doing that from about the age of 8, 9.
Blimey.
Exactly. So as I said, I was very inquisitive, wanting to know more, and I taught myself everything. So I was on a Ouija board at the age of 9, doing things like that, and I spent a lot of time in graveyards as well.
Yeah.
And then, but in my 20s, well, not even in my 20s, before we got married, me and my husband and his mates, we'd all drive in vans and cars to the graveyard, and we could drive into the graveyard, and they'd all get out a board and be doing the Ouija board and things, and I'd be sitting at the front, looking at all the gravestones, thinking, great, you guys, I've got all the mirrors around me, like all the windows in the dark in the woods, and all these gravestones, and they'd be all in the back. So yeah, it's always been there. It's never really gone away.
So what would have been when you were younger, before you reached adult maturity, although some would question whether we are mature or not when they've seen us start cackling at things. And another one of your sisters has just joined the group. Lisa's listening as well. So hi, Lisa. What would have been your favourite place that you visited, say, when you were a teenager, when you were kind of really learning your trade and learning how to control it? And
with my children in previous years, and I would have to say it's in Isleworth, and there's a church in Isleworth next to, I can't think of the name of the pub now. Oh, God, what was the name of the pub? That's going to bug me now. But there's this old church, and there's over 10,000 people buried of the plague there. Right. But the pub itself is where King Henry VIII used to take Anne Boleyn, and there's an island right next to it, and he used to date her on the island, and they'd come into the pub. Mm-hmm. And what's sad now is obviously the graveyards there. I use them from obviously us being kids, like I was just saying to you, until 4 years ago was the last time I went, because what they've done is dig up half the graveyard now and houses on it. But it's still the London Apprentice. That's what it's called, the pub, the London Apprentice. Okay. But it's right next to Zion House as well. So there's a lot of history in my area. It's amazing. But I think that was probably one of the best places as a child. Yeah.
So was there anywhere when you were that age that you would have loved to have been let loose in?
Everywhere. Funny enough, my dad used to be a lorry driver. I've always had a bit of a weird, I don't know what the word is that I want to say, but I've always had a thing for not Jack the Ripper, Peter Sutcliffe, and
the Yorkshire Ripper.
Yeah, the Yorkshire Ripper. And we used to deliver ice creams as a kid to the prison that he was in. But I wanted not only to go and meet him, but I wanted to go into the prison as well, due to the fact being of the history of it and all the deaths of it and the fact that they're all psychopaths and, absolutely crazy. So I always wanted to go there. Okay. Holloway, I think it's called, yeah.
Was he Holloway or was he Broadmoor?
No, it was Holloway first, wasn't it?
Was
and
he?
Then Broadmoor. Yeah, so... I wanted to go into that prison, one, to investigate it, but two, if I got to have a sit down and have a chat with him. But he's dying now, isn't he? So that's never going to happen until he passes over.
Well, probably be safer as well once he's passed over, because he's one of those people I wouldn't want to be on my own with. Although they are quite fascinating. I mean, this is quite interesting, because this is a conversation I've had with quite a few people. Like our fascination with psychopaths. Well, not everyone's, but a lot of us have a fascination. And some people do seem to have a fascination with the goriness, what they did and everything. Mine is with why they do it.
Mine's why as well. Why do you do it? Just tell me why you did it. What made you feel it was okay to go and do that? Did you not have any feeling or heart or, I don't know, is it like a fix, like a drug? I don't know. But it would be interesting.
It would, but I know that, I don't know if you ever saw on Netflix that program Manhunt or Manhunter, whatever it was called. It was about the start of the FBI profilers. And that's what they were doing. They were trying to ascertain if there's any sort of things that's what they then termed as serial killers had. But it's that kind of, it's what triggers it. What is there something? Is it nature or nurture? Is it it's not so much what they've done I'm interested in, like how they've done it, what it looks like, the gory photos you see of, you mentioned Jack the Ripper, you see of his victims. It's the psyche behind it. It's the as you say, what made you think that would help you? What kind of release is it that you need? But then again, a lot of people say that about what we do.
But also what you've got to remember is, back in the day, especially when we go back, people that did speak to spirit and hear voices in their head, did do a lot of harm because they couldn't control it. And, a lot of them did end up in asylums and things. I'm not making any excuses for him, but did he hear voices? Were there voices there? And that's what he acted on.
What, Sutcliffe or the Ripper?
Yeah, any of them.
There's probably a certain amount of mental health issues as well. Sutcliffe was in Broadmoor he still is, isn't he? Is he still in Broadmoor? I know he got moved to Broadmoor, didn't he, for a while?
Yeah, he's in there, and he's on I can remember reading something the other day that he's not got long left.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting conversation to be having, and it's something that I've always been, the psychology of it all has always fascinated me. So I actually can understand that one, and the thought of although when I spoke to chatting to Wes Coleman, who's with COPS, the Canadian the Correctional Officers Prisoners Society. Sorry, can you hear me now? Can you hear me all right?
I've got you again.
He's with COPS. They're Canadians. They're all prison officers in Canada. They have their own paranormal
Penny,
group.
are you still there?
I'm still here. Hello,
I've got you.
I am so sorry, people. Skype is really, really playing up. And the boss lady is now in the house. Madame Greenaway, the evil queen, is now listening to us. Hi, Kerry. And I do apologise to everyone if the feed is cutting out a lot. There's a problem with Skype or Spreaker tonight. It is cutting things out, so I do apologise if you hear Sam and I going, "Are you there? Can you hear me?" What was I going to say? Yes, anyway, he said you don't want to go into a prison. He actually said you don't want to go into an active prison. It's horrible, and he works in them. So I suppose I should take what he says. But one of the things that we have been talking about. Oh, and I'm talking to you, and you're actually in the chat room. That's very clever, Sam. I'm impressed.
Just right now, I just found it. Kind of multitask.
What was I going to say? Yes. So one of the things we were talking about was the fact that there is actually we're going to be talking about Grendon Hall shortly. Yeah. But there is a local house near you that you are part of their sort of supporters, the Friends of.
Yeah.
Group. Why do you like it so much?
Do you know what? I call her a she. I actually named her Elizabeth, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
She has always been there. Obviously, she's on my doorstep, but she's always been hidden. And when you first see her, even though she's so run down, it's like she's crying and calling out for attention, which obviously she is. And each time I went back there with the girls and with the public, and obviously doing just normal day events and things there, she was coming across happier. It was like her heart was beating. And I know she's a building, but to me she's a she, and she's Elizabeth.
That makes sense. Makes complete sense.
Coming back to life, and she'd been derelict for 25 years derelict, and no one would help. And all of a sudden, this committee of local residents got together and started showing her that we're trying to help you, and it's just like the house is coming alive.
Amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful. I say I've looked into a few bits about it after you and I were talking about it, and it's I can see what you mean. She I can see why you'd call her a she as well. But she has got a feminine sort of feel about her.
And what was really nice when Celebrity Ghost Hunt Live were there, they dressed her, and she had all these beautiful blue lights, and they redone the flooring and everything in the basement area, and it's like she was getting her clothes back on. I know it sounds stupid to say that about a building, but that's the connection that I've got.
Yeah. No, it's not stupid. I feel like that about certain aeroplanes.
Yeah, I've heard.
know that sounds. Yeah. Me and the BBMF Lancaster, we have a thing going on, her and I. Yeah, we have a same-sex relationship going on. But, but no, I can understand that about a property, and hopefully one day they'll get it back up to code and people can start getting energy back into her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the reason we're talking tonight is we're talking about a place called Grendon Hall, which sadly at the moment is shut, because it was owned by Northamptonshire Council, I believe.
You're cutting out again.
So are you, actually. I can't hear you at all.
Sorry, you
there we
cut
go.
out again.
Yeah, so did you.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Yeah. We'll just keep talking because I think it cuts out and then comes back in. So,
okay.
I think it's on both sides now. It seems to be cutting because you were cutting then as well. So it could be Skype is just falling over tonight. But yeah, so Grendon Hall. Yeah. It's owned by Northampton.
Sorry, guys, my house has really got lots of energy in my house.
I think it has. Because mine's saying I've got a strong signal.
Yeah, mine's not saying anything. Don't say nothing about signal.
Right, let me just check. I think we're still going. It looks like we're still going. Yeah, we're still online and going. I think a lot of people, I think they might have just lost us. I think it just cut out for some reason. So hopefully we are here. Wait a minute, let me just put in the message room, hit the refresh.
Yeah, they can hear us.
Yeah, they can hear us. Sorry about that, everyone. It's either Sam's fault and whoever's at her house is fiddling with the phone lines, or